One of the commonest questions in cycling is, how do I build my endurance? And endurance is the key to getting fit. And obviously one of the simplest ways is just to ride more. The more you ride, the more you build endurance. But there are some tips you can use to make that endurance riding more effective. And over the video, we're going to look at 3 tips to help build endurance and maximise your time on the bike. So the whole point of endurance riding is to fatigue your slow twitch fibres, which makes them become more efficient, better at using oxygen, mitochondria develop, and all those good things happen. So tip number 1 is keep applying pressure on the pedals. If you go out for 2 hours, try to spend 2 hours with your feet constantly pushing those pedals. That's one of the reasons why turbo training or trainer work is so effective, because you're always pressing the pedals. There's no free time, there's no freewheeling like this. You have to push all the time. So actually turbo hours are probably worth more than hours outside in that respect. So whenever you have a chance to coast, try not to. Put it up a gear maybe and keep that pressure constant on the pedals. Sometimes, you know, I come back from a standard endurance ride or a social ride with friends, and you look at how much time you're in zone 1 or even not pedaling, and it's quite a big chunk of time. The last thing you want to do is go out for 2 hours and find you only pedaled for an hour and a half. Zone 2 is easy, that zone to build endurance, but it's quite hard to constantly keep that pressure on. As you can see, today I'm using a daytime front light, which I've been using recently. So this front light is the Kiwi 400, and if you've seen the channel before, you would have seen I've reviewed quite a few of the Gaciron Kiwi lights, and I find them to be great value and really good quality. They have a nice aluminium body, nice and lightweight, and this 400 is no exception. In flashing mode like this, you've got about 12 hours of use, which for me lasts a week of charging. They've got various modes from flashing to steady, and as its name suggests, is up to 400 lumen, which certainly helps you get seen on roads. It also comes in white, if that's suiting your colour scheme better. I like black, but white is available. It's USB-C charging and takes a few hours to charge, but then, like I said, you get a decent amount of use out of it. It's also fully waterproof and has a cut-off beam, so it's not so likely to dazzle drivers. As you can see, it fits in really nicely. It can be used under the bar, like I've got it at the moment on my computer mount, or you can, if you want, put it on top of the bars using a normal bar mount, but I always prefer it out of sight and down here, which is nice and out of the way. I think these Gaciron lights are excellent value for money. If you're interested in buying one, check out the description below, where you'll find a link and a discount code. The next key thing to do is, as I said, just to build up that endurance. So if you do 2 hours one week, try to do 2.5 the next, and then after a week or two 3 hours maybe, and then 3.5 and 4 and so on. If you've got time, it's easier to build endurance by just building up that time you spend at that endurance pace. And if you normally go out and do an hour ride 3 or 4 times a week, or maybe 2 hours, try if you can to build in less rides but a longer distance. So maybe you do 3 rides and one of them is 3 or 4 hours, and that will make a difference. As I said, the key thing is tiring out your slow twitch fibres, and you'll do that with those longer rides. So longer rides, always pressure on the pedals. If you're enjoying this video, the best thing you can do to help the channel grow is keep watching the video till the end. So if you can, make it all the way through the video, and of course don't forget to give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. And tip number 3, which you might not want to hear, is avoid stopping. Try to minimize the amount of time you're not cycling. If you've just got 2 hours to ride for 2 hours. Try to avoid coffee stops and things like that mid-ride. I have got a video coming out on the channel soon about coffee stops, but we can just sum it up here by saying it doesn't do your endurance riding that much good to keep stopping. So if you incorporate those 3 tips into your endurance rides, you will get more out of them, guaranteed. And you will maximise your time on the bike, which is really necessary for most people who are probably a bit time crunched. And don't forget, if you've got anything you do to help your endurance riding, other than those things I've said, don't forget to drop it in the comments below. So I hope you found it useful and interesting, and until next time, bye for now.